So T-Pain was talking with Akademiks, and they was both drinking. You know, we got Henny Demics, you know. So you already know it's gonna be some stuff to talk about whenever that happens. And then T-Pain on there, fearless talking. So they start breaking down, you know, Chris Brown and his whole situation with him being upset, feeling like he not getting any love or support for his album, but he always in the news for negative stuff. And T-Pain's take on it was that Chris Brown had a princess complex, that he had always been loved and told he was so pretty, or you know, it was a pretty complex, princess complex, something like that. But one of those two. But pretty much basically it was he been loved and told he was so pretty and never really had to work or not work hard, but you know, he never was like the numbers was looking bad. It was always looking good no matter what. So he just, that's what he's used to. And now he's not seeing it like that this time with his album. He's not seeing those same numbers, that he feels like it's something wrong with the people and maybe not something wrong with him, and maybe he need to change it up. And my take on that is, to some degree, I agree with T-Pain. I 100% believe that Chris Brown is spoiled to a degree, and he even said it's not just spoiled, it's spoiled and being called pretty and being complimented and not really having to, you know, do anything to get that compliment. Just do what you do. And Chris has been doing what he's doing. But I agree with T-Pain because I don't know what Chris Brown's talking about. He gets praised all the time. He gets bigged up all the time. He gets complimented all the time. Everybody talks about how Chris Brown is so great, how so talented. When something bad happens, yes, people talk about it, but people talk about it when something bad happens to anybody. It's just the nature. Like, it's, oh my God, something, you know, some controversy happened, or, you know, something wild happened. You know, something negative is always going to attract people because you're like, well, what happened? How did it happen? Why did it happen? It's a story. It draws people in, but that doesn't mean that you don't get the same love or even more love and more often loved from your talent and your positives. It's just that, yeah, you're a celebrity, so your negatives are going to be under a microscope, just like your positives are. And so you got to take that good with that bad. I don't think that if Chris Brown's numbers aren't as good, it's because people just want to see his downfall. Maybe because you made people tired of these long-ass albums. I hate long albums. I've always had long albums. That's why Pusha T is like one of my favorites, because he know he got to get in there, do what he got to do, and get out. Don't overstay your welcome. That was one of my biggest problems with Kendrick last album, which I loved, but come on, man. I start towards the end, I was like, this is kind of running a little long, man. Like, I think you kind of got the message out. But with Chris, I know it's more about just different songs. You know, he's an R&B guy. He just likes to make good songs. So you can say, oh, it's just a compilation of different songs, the music. But he's not being, in my opinion, he's not being like torn apart. It's just the normal stuff with celebrities, and Chris does do a lot of stuff. So when he says, oh, you only focus on the negative, well, you doing negative. So maybe you should stop getting yourself in some situations like that. I don't know. But what really bad have we been focusing on with Chris? There was a thing about the girl making accusations, I think, and then that went nowhere, and that was nothing. But it's a story to talk about, and people reacted to it because you are Chris Brown, because you are so talented that people care about you. When something's going on, they're like, oh shoot, what happened with this? So I just think you have to take the good with the bad. It's just part of the business. When you are blessed to use your talents to make money and make millions and tour the world and do all this stuff, there's going to come negativity with it. I think now, like T-Pain said, it's time for you to look inward and see, what can you do to change? Maybe what can you do to get those same numbers that you wanted, that you thought that you deserved, and not feel so entitled to them. Not feel so entitled to people viewing your stuff, but remember that you're selling a product, which is your music, and you have to see what the market wants. And if the market's not reacting the same way, well, then maybe it's time for you to make a change or engage with the market and see what it is that they want from you. And not just throw a temper tantrum about how nobody likes me, nobody's listening to my music. Because you're getting a lot of people listening to your music. You're going to go on tour, you're going to sell out arenas and all that stuff, or stadiums, whatever you do, and you're going to make a lot of money, man. So there's no reason to throw a temper tantrum. Like I said, just remember that you're a product, you're a brand, you're selling yourself, you're selling your music, and, you know, engage with the audience.
It's the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
It's the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.